Welcome to yet another in the introductory series of various topics germane to the spiritual, psychological, personal, and collective evolution of humanity and planet Earth. Welcome. This is Joseph Martin. Donna Galenko is my Mohawk name. You can see I'm wearing my lovely Mohawk shirt that a good sister has made for me here. The topic for today is the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is perhaps the most important and essential and well-loved, little-known topic in all of Western history within the last 2,000 years or more. And although there are many books and movies and television shows about it, we want to understand here what the Holy Grail is, where the Holy Grail can be found, and how to reach it, and how to understand and feel it and be one with it. So let's start at the beginning. What is the Holy Grail? Now, in strictly physical, historical terms, it's the silver tin cup or grail or vessel, if you like, that Joseph of Arimathea, who was the uncle to Jesus Christ, held under Jesus's wounds while he was hanging on the cross, still alive, and at the time of his physical death and transformation and resurrection, to the wound so that the blood and a bit of the sweat, but mostly the blood from Jesus' sacred body dripped into the Grail cup, and Joseph of Arimathea kept it. And so there's been a long-standing historical battle and fight, hidden and not hidden, by all the Catholic Church, the Protestant churches, archaeologists, historians, people of all types and all backgrounds from different religious and spiritual and mystical sects to try to find the actual physical Holy Grail. Now, some people have said they found it. Probably it has not been yet physically found. Some say that they found ones made of wood, some of silver, some of tin, some of crystal, some of glass, and mostly as an anthropologist and archaeologist trying to uncover the veracity of these, I realized that people have not really found the physical Holy Grail, although many claim to have done, and although they are in various churches and museums around the world, and still a lot of people are searching for it worldwide, and some say it's on any one of the 7 continents. And nobody has actually been able to verify scientifically that they have found the Holy Grail. That's still an ongoing thing, as you know, and who knows how many more tries there will be to find the actual physical Holy Grail. So, having said that, we need to look at the symbolic reality, that's the mystical truth, of what the Holy Grail really is. Now, the Holy Grail can, in a unified way, be seen to be many things all at the same time. There are many aspects to the Holy Grail, and yet they all are unified in the place where it can only be found, truthfully, which is in your personal sacred heart here. And I don't mean just literally your physical heart, although that's where the spiritual source and the spiritual heart is. The Holy Grail is an aspect of your highest soul, your highest source, the beginning and reality of all that is, and the Alpha and Omega of all that is in this cosmos and in this universe. The Holy Grail, from a Jungian psychological aspect, is the one central, essential archetype of human nature, both spiritually divine and psychologically and physically human. And this is the quest that everybody on the planet is going through right now. Whether you come from an Asian background, a First Nations background, a Western background, of any of the traditional religions that exist on the planet, or the cultures or ethnicities or language groups that exist on the planet, everybody worldwide is on a search for the knowledge of the Holy Grail. You find it in the most popular movies of all time on the planet. So let's talk about what it is and where it is and how you can find it. to go back into the archetype of it, you realize that in fact, as Joseph Campbell once said to me in some of the sessions we gave at the Jungian Society in Toronto when we were doing that in the 1970s, the Holy Grail archetype, of which he researched and spoke a lot in all of his videos that you can watch online at the Joseph Campbell Foundation, the Holy Grail is the epitome of the emerging archetype of the divine feminine. Not only the divine cosmic feminine, the spiritual feminine, the mystical feminine, but the increasingly known earth divine feminine, found not only in all the women and children of this earth as they come back into physical reality, but every single man on earth and his divine feminine anima counterpart, as Jung would call it, is in fact the Holy Grail. Now, you may not know you're the Holy Grail, and you will not find it, nor will you ever experience it, until you find a method and techniques and methodologies to release all the hidden and outstanding blockages in your consciousness, your unconsciousness, your body, your emotions, your physiology, your biochemistry, your psychology, your karmas from your past lives. And we've seen there's another YouTube on how to deal with your karmas. So what are these blockages that keep us away from the Holy Grail? And by the way, there will be more to say when you get into the ongoing further discussions of the Holy Grail, which in itself will be an entire training course about just what it is and where it is and how to find it. But we're just starting with an introduction here. The Holy Grail is blocked in you by your ego, which likes to create fears and lies and deceit, and hide it from you. The fact that the Holy Grail is your immortal, infinite, loving soul and your source. It's the divine part that lives inside you that needs to be filled with the great unconditional love and kindness and respect that maybe you have yet to experience fully. The ego needs to be dealt with and transmuted and transformed until it can become one with the soul and with the higher self, or the self as Carl Jung calls it. And all these traditions, whether it's Gnostic Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Baha'u'llah, all those traditions of Baha'i, they do talk about what the self is. So you can do some research on that. The other thing that gets in the way are the masks that we all wear, and we pretend that our true identity are the masks that we wear. Well, nothing is farther from the truth, and of course you'll want to unload, unleash, burn up all the masks, or at least realize when you're playfully having fun with them out in society and your relationships and your work, that that's not the true you. So you will want to look at your masks. However, most importantly, in terms of the psychology of all of this, you will need to look at your shadow. Not only your personal shadow in this life of all the things that are hidden, that are unconscious. By the way, the shadow is your royal road to perfect healing, perfect awareness, and perfect knowledge. It's something great. It's something to be brought to consciousness, all the darkness brought to the light, all the hidden pain from your inner childhood brought to the light to be healed, all the pain and suffering and trauma from your past lives and your karmas brought to the light to be healed. This is the path to the Holy Grail realization. It is the supreme, ultimate self-realization. And this is exactly what everyone on the planet, all 7.5 billion of us, are looking for at this time. And unless and until each one of us individually and in our families, our neighborhoods, our communities, our cities and towns, our provinces and states, our nations, and globally in all our interactions, socially, politically, economically, in every way, find this Holy Grail, we are in dire danger of not surviving as a human race. Now, the good news is, of course, that the human nature over 4 million years is very adaptive. We've always found a way to deal with our challenges, our problems, our issues, our wars, the fact that we're always at conflict with ourselves and with the others. So I know we will find the Holy Grail inside us, between us, and among us worldwide. That will require some inner work, some shadow work. So I would run, not walk, to a wonderful therapist who deals with these kind of things, either a Jungian dream analyst or some psychotherapist who understands emotions, karma, and the search for the spiritual soul inside as the only way to find your true identity. So these are some of the things about what the Holy Grail is, where it is. Remember, it's in your heart, it's hidden, it's buried somewhere deep, deep down in your own unconscious. It is a collective issue as well as a personal issue, and you can find it. The greatest joy and happiness you will ever find is in finding your own Holy Grail. It is the newest and best emerging archetype for all of humanity. It's not just the divine feminine in the human and the cosmic sense. It's the divine masculine, the respectful spiritual peacemaker warrior who, on behalf of all people, not only his own family and children, but all people on the planet, is going to go out as a knight in shining armor to respect and be kind and support and make sure that all people have equality in terms of social justice, water, food, clothing, housing, and all the things that they need. This is the meaning of the Holy Grail on a collective level. We're all going to be seeing ourselves as one united family. Now, I'm imagining you're feeling a little excited and inspired by all this, as I am, as you can tell. I encourage you to follow through by listening to the upcoming series of further discussions and Q&A on the Holy Grail, and also to find out the techniques about how you can experience it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Unless you experience it for yourself, obviously it's going to be not too meaningful yet. So good luck, have fun, enjoy your day and your life. Keep focused on the Holy Grail, and there'll be more to say on this very soon. Onakiwahi, we say in Mohawk, Skanagoa, the peace is great. The Holy Grail is inside and soon to be revealed to you. All love and blessings. Peace out and in. Okay, take care.